Hey guys, it's Bane here, back again with another video. I thought I would have the day 4 recap of the free-to-play speedrun account, but I did not. Turns out that recording roughly, I think, 12 hours of raw footage takes a long time to sort through, timestamp, create a script for and record over, and that's going to be the same for day 5, 6, and 7, especially day 7 because it's split into 2 parts. So just as a forewarning, if you were hoping this today's video would be the free-to-play account speedrun day 4 recap, rest assured that'll happen soon. For that reason, I'm not going to be streaming this Saturday. I'll actually be recording, editing, recording, scripting for that video over the weekend. So hopefully next week we'll be more consistent in the recap episodes. But the speedrun is done. I will not be spoiling it for those who are watching this account review. But if you are watching this account review, you have no idea what I'm talking about, go look at my channel. I did a complete World 1 to World 6 speedrun on a free-to-play account. The goal is to get to World 6 in 1 week or you fail. So, stay tuned for the videos to see if we actually ended up doing it. Yeah, it was a fun journey, the 1 week that we had. So anyways, back into the topic of today, which is an account review, since I couldn't I didn't have time to do the editing for the day 4 recap. We're doing an account review instead for Karmatrip. Karmatrip, I believe, is on the obviously on the review list if I'm doing the account review. So we're going to jump into the account. I believe from what I saw, it is a World 6 account, decently progressed, not quite like super end game or anything, but just what direction should you aim for now that you're at this stage of the end game? What do people do? Anyways, so first thing I see is Death Note kills. This is like the easiest thing to consider once you've gotten to Samurai Guardians. I think the best thing for you to do probably is just grind out the Eclipse skulls. Now that damage is actually kind of useful to some extent to help push Emperor kills, it's relatively important to start stacking damage as much as you can. So getting Eclipse skulls on World 1 through World 6 is going to be your first big priority. I think the easiest world for you to do obviously is going to be World 2. The HP count of the mob is low. You can get really high multi-kill per tier. The fact you almost have all the mobs at Eclipse skulls anyways just helps out with that. While you're on this grind, while you're on this journey, if you have AFK bones unlocked, I would definitely stick your Deathbringer. Or if you have your second Deathbringer at the very least, trying to get your Apocalypse wows done, because they do require 1 billion kills. So since you have 2, you have the fun, fantastic quirk of having to do it on your second Deathbringer. So don't grind any Apocalypse wows on your first guy. It will not count. You have to do it on Jean Lablique, or however you pronounce it. I'm assuming I might just guessed your French. I don't know, man. But you have to do your Apocalypse wows on on this Deathbringer, because it will not count if you do it on your first. The same thing applies for Super Chows, which it's not the Apocalypse Chows. Super Chows are the V-Man enhancement, actually, which I'm pretty sure this doesn't actually showcase. But also, you don't have any points into the V-Man enhancement. That's actually like really terrible. You want this to be maxed out. I assume you probably did a speed run, and this is like you optimizing points for the speed run, and this is like a snapshot of your toolbox, so I can't really tell, but make sure you have points in your enhancement Eclipse at all times. It caps out at 250 points, so only put 250 points in here. Those are the only Eclipses in the game, but that just helps you with unlock Super Chows. Super Chows are really important for account progression just because they give you multiplicative meal cooking speed. So it's really, really important that you have the Super Chows done. So do the 100 million kills on your second Deathbringer across all the mobs, and some of these special case mobs such as the Office map, the Poops within the Dr. Defecus map, the Nutto that's in the Acorns map, which is the map underneath the Sticks map, the one with the tower defense. That tree tower defense, that one counts as a special mob. The Boops themselves also count as a special mob. While I don't necessarily agree that you should super chow them, you can definitely zow and chow them, so that would help. But just use toolbox. It'll indicate which mobs you have left. I can't remember exactly. No, it's class specific. Yeah, Apocalypses. I did skip over it. This character right here, you've gotten chows on this, you've gotten zows on this. You may notice this is weird, is because it does point out specific like weird mobs. So there are some mobs that exist in very weird maps. So you see this is a sand giant, but this is not actually a sand giant. This is actually a G-mush within the Doot map. The Doot map actually has an invisible green mushroom that you can Zao, Chow, Super Chow, and Apocalypse Wow. Now it only spawns, it spawns one G-mush every like 30 seconds or something. So you could technically Super Chow and Apocalypse Wow it. For your sanity, I would not recommend it because you cannot AFK kill it. You cannot candy it. You have to be active on your Deathbringer with like the Gravestone if you want to optimize mob respawn, and just sit there actively for days on end to be able to Super Chow and eventually Apocalypse Wow it. You could use World 2 kill rings to speed this up, but for your sanity, I would not do this. For your sanity, I would not do Equinox Valley, and I truthfully don't think the Emperor Castle is possible. I don't know if this actually counts or not, but I just wouldn't recommend it. Super Chows. So you have a few mobs that you haven't super chowed yet, some easy ones. So Edge of the Valley, I'm pretty sure this is just the wooden spirits, this is just the baby trolls, this is just the rice cakes. You haven't super chowed the rift. If you just go to the rift, it counts as like one giant mob, so no matter what stage of the rift you're on, you can Zao Chow and super chow it. So you can actually just AFK in the rift and it counts. So I recommend doing that. This is actually pretty easy. This is pretty easy. This is pretty easy. This is pretty easy. This don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and don't do this. So you can move on from those. But these are essentially the mobs that I think you have the easiest time of super chowing. You can get to 83. I think 83 is the general recommended number that you can super chow in Apocalypse Wow. And to the credit of you doing it on your second Deathbringer, it seems like you're aware of that rule because you've done more than on your first one. So hats off to you. Good job there. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about Deathbringer and I'll move on to the rest of your account. So Obol set's looking pretty good. I see you have Domio Magnus on some of them. I don't see them upgraded though. You can still upgrade these to plus 15%. So be mindful. Just go back and do that. Should be relatively easy, especially since you have 4,400 Obol fragments, just to optimize your drop rate. Same thing with the hyper drop rate Obol. You can upgrade this to plus 11. At least I'm pretty sure you can upgrade that to plus 11. I honestly can't remember. I believe that's yep, plus 11. Okay, cool. Yep, go do that. I didn't see the circle there. I just want to double check because I don't know how the coding on the hyper Obels work, but it seems like it works the same. Anyways, yeah, I don't see the circle on here. The circle indicates if you've optimized the rolls a little bit, so go back and do that. Yeah, I see you have 8,800 hours worth of candy, so that's good, useful for me to know when I look at your stats like bubbles, your fractal island hours, your shrines. You have a lot of candy that you can just go ahead and use. So it's up to you if you want to use them. My biggest recommendation now that Prisma bubbles are out, the ability to candy click is much easier nowadays. So if that's not something you have done before, I would highly recommend you do. And I see you have, ooh, yikes. That's rough. That's rough. Having an exalted stamp and holy mackerel. This had to have been a misclick, right? There's no way you meant to. That's really unfortunate. But other than that, I'm just going to chop this up to a mistake. At least I hope it was, because you can cap out at 600%. The multi-resource chance is like the absolute worst stamp probably in the entire game for you to exalt. So I hope this is a misclick and you meant to do bug sack or bags ahead. Those would have been more reasonable. But yeah, I see the rest of your stamps that you've exalted are completely fine. They're within reason. Drippy Drop, Mason Jar, multi-tool, summoning stamp. Those ones are really good. Top of the tier, especially underrated. The Summoner Stone stamp is actually really good. The more summoning EXP you can get, the higher level of summoning you can get, which helps multiply your star signs. And as everyone knows, star signs are just a really good, easy, fantastic passive buff you can get across your accounts. This is a great one to double, so you can get more summoning EXP. And summoning EXP is relatively hard to get out of. Oh, you have Crystalline as well. I think I mentioned this, but Crystalline, obviously really good. With the nerf to the Crystal Shrine, which is when Exalted Stamps got introduced, this got changed, I believe, from 10% per level down to 7.5 or whatever the actual number is. It got nerfed. So both the Crystal and Giant spawn chance rates got nerfed. It just so happens that the Exalted Stamp for Crystal mobs got, what was the fix. So I think there was slight oversight, as always in most updates, but because Giant spawn chance got a little like a collateral nerf, but crystal spawns are actually much much higher nowadays because of the exalted stamp and because of, you know, how much we can scale exalted stamp bonus, especially because of the summer event. One of the black market bonuses you can get is +1 exalted stamp, but also 20% increase to exalted stamp bonus. Also, the armor set bonus from the smithy guy, you can get, I believe, yeah, the emperor set gives you exalted stamp increase, so you know that'll help you with more carry capacity, more crystal spawn chance. So if you have, and it seems like you have most of the, at least you have the premium set unlock, I believe, so you can start farming out these set bonuses. So I would just do this now because you're missing out on some things like total damage, faster mob respawn, tome bonuses, lab and divinity exp. Like all this is like really good stuff you want to try and accomplish. So this is probably a next big goal for you right now. This should be relatively passive, relatively easy for you to do, and I believe since you've unlocked this mechanic, I really don't know how this toolbox page actually looks like, if you've unlocked it or not, but if you have unlocked it, just get to completing the sets, clicking on the sets and talking to the armor guy to have it unlocked as an account-wide bonus. I'm assuming you've gotten the 2,000 gems to unlock this mechanic already, but if you haven't, you unlock it in 21 days anyways, so up to you. But yeah, you're missing out on some pretty decent increases to your account. In my opinion, the lab and divinity is actually pretty good because this helps you scale more bravery, more account skill level to get more bravery sword damage. You're missing out a little bit of higher win bonuses from summoning. I believe this is the one you need to unlock to increase your max books because the increase to max books comes in at this. So instead of being 299, max book becomes 301. So the God Shard set is a really important one for you to do, so you can start getting max books on everyone, or you know, higher books than you did. It also pushes you over to the next breakpoint for Symbols of Beyond, so getting this to 300, so you can get the extra +1 minimum talent level, which helps you push a little bit further towards getting 400 talent levels for Tentacle, for example, on your Bubo, or you know, even further beyond that. And it looks like you do have it anyways, but pushing even further beyond that to 420, so you can get more consistent uptime on Cranium Cook. Cranium Cook really kicks in when you have higher talent levels. Getting to 400 is just one of the crucial steps. Getting to 420, I believe, makes it a little bit more consistent in my opinion, because it gives you the additional range on Auspicious Aura, and the more range means you can hit more mobs more consistently, which means more uptime on your Tentacle, which means, you know, you reduce the cooldown of Cranium Cooking. So if you want to try to push towards more reliable infinite Cranium Cook, pushing talent levels is definitely something you want to do, and the way you get to the other 20 talent levels is going to be in the form of Deathbringer grinding. So pushing the Grimoire, trying to get Skull of Major Talent, trying to get that maxed out at +30. And it seems like you're on your way, because you're almost at Writhing Grimoire, you're almost at Wraith Accuracy 4, and almost at Wraith of all Trades. You are hitting like a pretty big accelerator when it comes to Deathbringer Grimoire. Unlocking Writhing Grimoire starts getting your foot into the door for World 6. Wraith Accuracy 4 really opens the door even further, and potentially allows you to kill things like Woodland Spirits to help you compete with Stilt Moles, and Wraith of Trades definitely like gets you there for Woodland Spirits. I believe in my Deathbringer grind, I think I mentioned that Wraith Accuracy 4 gets you there. I think I misspoke. I think Wraith of all Trades is actually the one you want to go for, because this really helps multiply your accuracy. This of course gets multiplied by Writhing Grimoire. This also gets multiplied by Writhing Grimoire. So all this together, this definitely gets you into World 6. You'll probably see like 3-4 times increases to your bone gain, which will really help accelerate you to getting towards Skull of Major Talent. So you're hitting like a pretty big fast accelerator point. Hold on, my cat is scratching at my door and she's driving me insane. Yes, you're locked in here with me, pal. Like Rorschach, you know. Anyways, we talked about stamps a little bit. We talked about exalted stamps. Owl, I would like to see the Owl Mega Feather go higher than 14. A little bit of a spoiler, I'm almost here on my free-to-play accounts without the whole upgrades, so I think you should definitely be able to push the Owl Mega Feather even higher. Owl is pretty underrated. It is a fantastic mechanic. It helps you scale drop rate, it helps you scale more all stat, more damage, more base damage, you know, a little bit of classy XP. It's nothing to write home about, and the skill XP is nothing to write home about, but all of these little bonuses help contribute to a more endgame account. So the more emphasis you put into this mechanic, especially because this mechanic is more passive, you should definitely get a lot out of it. And you know, where you are right now, I feel like you should be able to, if not already, be able to do a mega reset. So definitely start working on Owl. My recommendation is try to push this to like 16 to 18. Honestly, I feel like even nowadays 18 to 19 is not that hard because of the Gambit Cavern. And for any of you that disagree with me, I literally did a free-to-play speedrun. I feel like I feel more qualified talking about Owl, having done that speedrun, having experienced it pre-Gambit Cavern. I feel like it is extremely easy to push Owl now, and especially because the Gambit Cavern further multiplies the amount of feather generation you get. The resource clicker one, the gains from clicker, this really helps accelerate Owl like so much. So pushing past the 14 mega feather is definitely achievable, and it should be very easy for you. Same thing for Kangaroo. If you have at least one megafish, I mean, 8 is pretty good. I would say 9 honestly is like fantastic. Even for where I am, I think 9 was a pretty good stopping point. With the event giving a bunch of time skips for Kangaroo, you could get this to 10. I'd say pretty easily. Even if you don't hit that like mini jackpot, the 4 Prisma bubble one with the 30 time skips for Kangaroo, even if you get the lowest tier from the event, you should get a decent amount of time skips to be able to push towards 9, maybe even 10 megafish to help you get higher bonuses. I mean, Kangaroo is actually pretty good because it'll help you very minusculely. I think that's how you pronounce that, with your fishing efficiency, but also your damage here, which if you're pushing Emperor kills helps in the slightest. So pushing megafish is actually pretty good, but most importantly for Prince, the AFK gains is actually pretty significant here. So I would again recommend doing Kangaroo. It just is really good. Overall, your point resets look fine. The one thing I want to point out is this looks low. Your cost reduction one should be in line with your bluefin cost one. The way you want the point distribution here is you want I'm going to do like ratios here. So let me pull up a little notepad. Sorry for the flashbang. So essentially what you want here is you want like 1 to, you keep it here, you cap it out at 100. That's the soft cap for this. And then you want this at a 1. And then you want this at a 4. And then you want this to cap out at 250, which you've done here. So basically the way this reads is for every 6 points you get, assuming you've maxed out the yellow one and the tartar upgrades, you want to put 1 point here into the bluefin caught. You want to put 1 point here into the cost reduction and 4 points here into the other upgrades. So that's the point distribution. The reason you put the yellow one at 100 and the tartar fish upgrades at 250 is because I truthfully don't know. They have soft cap values, so by you putting more points into it, it's just a waste of the point investment. You'd rather put those points into the other upgrade bonuses or higher, because it'll help scale the other ones and it'll help scale the Kangaroo more efficiently. Hence why the point distribution is actually 1, 1, 4, because this is the most important upgrade here. These two have soft cap values at the 100 and 250, and these ones do kind of infinitely scale to help you progress Kangaroo a little bit faster. I believe there was someone in the main Discord that did mathematics. That doesn't even make sense as a sentence. Did math to calculate that these soft cap, it is absolutely not worth it to put any more points past 100 and past 250 into this. So for those of you wondering why that's the point distribution, I just trust those people in the main Discord that made those guides. So fully invest as just 100, not 1 to 100. It's like 1 cap at 100, 1 4 cap at 250. So follow that point distribution. So when you do a next reset, put an extra 145 points in the cheapener, or you can just reset the point distribution, put 100 here, put 250 here, put like 225, but 1250, and then distribute the rest of the points. Anyways, that's the point distribution you want to do for Kangaroo. Talking about bubbles, so I ended up catching this up, your Idleon toolbox update when you got the Prisma bubbles. It looks like you have 2. I did briefly look at this to see if this captured the update, because I saw it was updated on June 7. So you have Carpenter and Larry. Those are decent. Larry, I think, is absolutely the one you want to go for first, because this pushes you over the breakpoint to get a guaranteed +3 levels, and you have a 28% chance at +4. In my opinion, I would have rather seen the double on Warrior's Rule as opposed to Carpenter. Yes, Warrior's Rule does not scale Carpenter anymore. However, Warrior's Rule will help you scale everything about your account better than Carpenter can right now. The biggest, I mean, you get a lot of more construction speed out of it, yes, but you're missing out on things like damage for your DK, more prints for copper ore and such, and candy clicking specifically, which is, I think, something that you should aim to do probably soon. The Prisma bubbles, if there wasn't a reason to candy click before, the Prisma bubbles absolutely pushed it over the edge. The fact that Larry gets you so many extra points now, like levels up, levels into your alchemy, it is 100% worth your time to try and candy click now. Even if you are not a sweaty end gamer, even if you're still getting like a 10 billion print at most on some of these resources, candy clicking is so ridiculously easy now simply because of exalted stamps. You know, you having upgraded mason jar, if you had upgraded things like Matty bag or little mining bag, the quality of life on the carry capacity would have been absolutely insane. And if you further upgraded, if you further got the armor set completed and got the armor set turned in for Emperor set, for example, you would have had even more carry capacity. Or if you had I guess technically God Shard set would help a little bit with the skilling efficiency aspect of it, so you can get more resources out of it. But it's mostly this ribbons and exalted stamp increase to get you more carry capacity. It's just really good. And with the added easiness of Larry being boosted, being able to help level up your bubbles, getting thousands of levels into your bubbles is not a hard thing anymore, and candy clicking is just extremely easy. In fact, I want to showcase something, just how ridiculous skill efficiency has gotten for some end gamers. Now, I'm not saying this is you by any means, you're not able to do this right now. Just as reference, how much skill efficiency we've gotten in just like the past few weeks. If I go to copper ore and I were to equip like the bare minimum of golden peanuts, right, and like a bunch of grilled cheese nomiches and like serrated rex rings, and like I don't have anything else that's like skill efficiency wise, I'm just gonna sit here, right, and I'll go to my storage. I'll turn off small mode so you can actually see. But if I keep depositing, every single deposit here is like 50 to 60 million copper ore. In fact, I did a timer on this with boost food equipped, and it took me in 10 seconds, I was able to mine actively 1.5 billion copper ore. That's just how crazy prints are these days. In fact, I haven't even reprinted, and I kind of, and in fact, my efficiency keeps going up. I need to reprint soon because of this. Sorry about my webcam. I'm not recording myself right now. But it's just prints these days with the Smithy set bonus, with the exalted stamp bonus, with the doublers, with the Prisma doublers, all this stuff. We have so much skill efficiency now that active clicking is becoming a very real possibility. And what I mean by active clicking is, doing exactly this, me talking and ranting at Twitch chat for a couple seconds while I go ahead and collect 6 billion copper ore to click. Like, you saw all those, I gained like 15, 20 levels or something like that in the span of seconds. Yeah, no, efficiency these days, because of these recent updates, is really skyrocketing progress. Even if you're not a super end gamer like me, I mean, I guess I can't even call myself a super end gamer because I don't even have like bravery multi. So, but all this to say, all these bonuses are really stacking up, and it's becoming almost a joke these days to really achieve like candy click level rates of account progress. So, for where you are, I think you are more than likely able to do this, especially since you have Larry doubled, since you are able to double Carpenter. You're approaching the range where you want to double bubble, you definitely should, at your next Prisma bubble, level up Warrior's Rule. You should definitely do Molt Orange next. After that, Mage is best, and then Severe Purple. Those are the best ones. I think first off, what you should do. I'm honestly convinced that Statue EXP is also a fantastic one to do. Effectively, this makes your statues 25% more effective. So whenever you farm statues, which you should, because of this event in particular really juices drop rate if you get the jackpot, because it's this drop rate multi-name tag. That's absolutely fantastic. The power creep is insane, but you are able to farm so many more statues. Even if you don't get the name tag, statue farming is inevitable. You're going to be doing it in World 7 probably. You're going to be farming even more Dragon Warrior statues. There's just always a reason to statue farm. So you should absolutely double Statue EXP to help make the grind on statues less painful, and you are able to get so much more benefit out of it. Like Statue is an insane bubble to double because of, statues are just like the most important thing in this game almost. Next to stamps and alchemy, statues are like a great fallback mechanic to go back to and really progress your account and like push its power to the next level. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I guess just brief recap. Larry, number 1. I'd honestly put Statue EXP up there as number 2. Warrior's Rule, just because Orb Prints go insane. Molt Orange, same reason. It'll affect the skill efficiency ones, which makes Prints go insane. And then Mage's Best. Chopping Prints also go crazy, especially with the Wisdom Monument. Severe Purple, probably the next one. After that, then I would consider the green bubbles. Fly Prints and damage for your archers isn't necessarily that good, especially with the Emperor. Your movement speed caps at 175, so you aren't able to scale Quick Slap like you are outside of it. So it's not like your Siegebreaker or your Windwalker is going to be your best damaging class in the long run. For the Emperor specifically, it's probably for the short term going to be your Elemental Sorcerer, and then once your Refinery ranks really start scaling, your DK is going to be your number 1 priority. For you right now, probably Elemental Sorcerer is going to do more damage than Emperor anyways, because your Refinery is low. And your Siegebreaker has their movement speed capped in the Emperor room, so you can't scale damage in that way. So if you're looking to farm Emperor kills, which I imagine you probably are, your Elemental Sorcerer is probably your go-to person. Yeah. Okay, Atom Collider. Looks like you recently got a +1 upgrade with your Windwalker. I would definitely go for Neon first to help with the cost reduction for your atoms. I would honestly try and look to reprints soon so you get more atom generation. I think you probably spent your atoms recently, but I think you can definitely get more atoms out of this, especially once you consider candy clicking potentially, or yeah, I mean, if you consider candy clicking, you can definitely boost your prints by a lot. It really helps accelerate your progress. But definitely focus on, when you do bravery, focus on mining efficiency, focus on scaling bravery hours. You can try to push towards a bravery multi. That's another end game grind you could do. It really helps out. But definitely look to reprint, just because I see your gold relics at 3.55. So it's been a fair bit of time since you last reprinted, and a lot's happened in that amount of time. So you probably can get higher prints. I mean, your Deathbringer here is only getting a 336 mil copper ore versus your DK is getting a 21 billion. I suspect that you can really juice your prints here. And I honestly, I feel like you haven't reprinted on some of these characters in a while, because like the disparity between 102 mil copper ore under DK and a 21 billion copper ore, or a 48.7 mil plat ore, or this is plat, right? Plat ore. I feel like you lazily print like the bare minimum resources just for atom generation. You should definitely reprint like all of them, just in case you need them for future updates. Like World 7 allegedly is around the corner, like in a few months, so you may as well just print now, let your gold relic stack up, enjoy the atoms that you get, and then maybe if you need those resources down the line, you have them ready and prepped, and they're ready to go. So just do a reprint, focus on atom generation, really try and optimize at least like your copper ore, so you can get more and more atom generation to help you with your atom collider, especially if you're considering doing Windwalker grinding and trying to push these atoms to higher levels. It's gonna be really important for you. Okay. I hate traps, so I'm not going to talk about them. just max out your prayers. You're missing like maybe like 5 tome points from not doing this. There's no reason not to. So, you know, max out balance of precision, max out beefy for real, max out anti-fun spirits, circular criticals. There's no reason not to. You may as well just do it, especially since, you know, the soul cost of these should be relatively easy for you to overcome anyways. Between vault, between species epoch, it should be, and boost food effect if you use soulable gum. Getting the souls you need to cap out these prayers should be really easy for you. I would also soon, you know, try and push towards 120 worship and 120 trapping on your characters, just so you can start equipping the gear for those characters. So definitely look to try and get 120 worship, 120 trapping. The best EXP charge for you to use your soul charge on is definitely Clash of Cans. It's 1630 EXP per 1 charge. So obviously this takes more charge overall, but on a per charge singular charge basis, Clash of Cans gives you the most EXP. So this is the most efficient if you want to level up your character. And at all points, you should try and level up your character in worship, because that means more account skill level, which means more bravery sword damage. Meals are not at 110. The reason this is high, and I saw this when I was looking at your V-Man, is because the V-Man talent you didn't have spec'd into, so you didn't have points into Blood Marrow. If you look at preset 2, I see that, okay. So if you were on preset 2, you'd be getting the maximum amount there. Definitely make sure when you do cooking, obviously have Blood Marrow equipped, otherwise you're just, you know, wasting time. But that being said, I think you should aim towards trying to push cooking, especially since you got more atom levels in Atom Collider. Fluoride is really going to help accelerate your cooking speed. This is a fantastic one. This is, I think, probably third-rate best cooking speed multiplier in the game. Blood Marrow's number 1, Diamond Chef number 2, and then Fluoride number 3. Now, with the bubble doublers, okay, I have to explain some context to you guys. This is dumb, and it should absolutely not work this way, but I'm not going to complain because it's been confirmed this is an intended mechanic. If you double Diamond Chef, this 1.28 times does not go to 1.56. It actually goes to 2.56. So I assumed when you double this, it would just increase whatever, you know, that base value is. So I assumed from getting 199 levels of Diamond Chef, it gives you plus 0.28 times the faster meal and fire kitchen speeds. But apparently when you double it, it takes the entire value and doubles it, which effectively means that by doubling this bubble, you're not actually doubling the effectiveness of Diamond Chef, you're more than 6xing the effectiveness of it. So if you're struggling to finishing meals at 110 and you have a Prisma doubler, genuinely I would probably advise doubling Diamond Chef, because it almost certainly will allow you to max out your meals to 110. I think there's been various Reddit posts about people doing this and immediately capping out their meals, even Nyan Burger, because of how insane the multiplication for Diamond Chef provides for cooking speed. So if you're looking for a very easy way to cap out your meals at like 90, 100, hell, even 110, definitely double Diamond Chef, because it will way more than enough push you over the edge. And it's not like that's an exploit. It's not wrong. Lava himself confirmed that this is a feature and not a bug. Take that for what you will. And by Lava himself, I'm pretty sure it was confirmed via Hot Air, who's the main moderator for Idleon, and he confirmed it with Lava. Either way, the effectiveness is the same. Lava's confirmed it's not a bug. Sorry. Take a little drink of water. So, tome points at top 5%. It's pretty good. I think this was snapshot of pre-update, so you might be even lower than this, because I'm pretty sure the update pushed the tome range to about 32,000 for 0.1%. So you might be even lower than this. You might be even like 10-25%, which is kind of abysmal, but the tome points were inflated, so that makes sense. If you're looking to push a lot of levels, the best way to do so, honestly, is bubble level. Bubble levels give you like thousands of points in tome. If I press Control F, I can find it. Yeah, you have 500 points here for 55,000 bubble levels. If I go to my toolbox, and I hope I'm logged into my toolbox, not the free-to-play account. Okay, my account. And I go to Tome to compare. 430,000 gives you 1,100 points. So I have double your points at almost 10x the amount of bubble levels. So there's a lot of points to gain there. Obviously, I don't expect you to get 400k overnight, but that's a very easy way to scale Tome points. And you can obviously scale things like skill efficiency, the drop rate, the damage, the multiplicative damage if you have that from the event bonus, the strength, agi, the wisdom, the stealth percent, the crop evolution chance, all that stuff scales with Tome points. It's just really, really good. It's a really easy way to help scale your account too. So doing a little bit of Tome farming actually is honestly something I would recommend. Bubble levels obviously will help your account overall, but focusing on bubbles will help you with your Tome as well. Okay. What do we not usually look at that I kind of want to look at? So I always glance over constellations. Good to see that's done. Party dungeons, I hope this is done. You have the Flurbo upgrades done. I mean, we didn't look at Equinox. I suppose we could look at that. Food Lust at level 0. That's perfect. Laboratory Fuse, unfortunately, at 10. Yeah, I suppose when it comes to what to upgrade, matching skims, definitely. With how much emphasis has been put on damage output, I think focusing on matching skims is something you should absolutely do. It looks like you are trying to push this upgrade here for sneaking, trying to get all of the hats. I can't specifically see which hat you're missing for this. So my advice is I'll deal with this later. Let me just clear that row. So each of the floors have specific hats. So the ghost floor has like the straw hat that you most commonly see. I'm going to come back to the ghost floor to talk about it in just a second. Then you have this other, I guess this is the same. There's 3 hats here. I think the straw hat from here is the same as the one down here. Don't quote me on that, but there's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so yeah, the straw hat's the same one on floor 1, the one above the ghost floor. And then this last floor here has this funky hat. This funky hat on the last floor has an extremely low drop rate, and it's actually not advisable to farm the hat here because secretly it appears in the ghost room as well at a much higher drop rate. So if you're stuck farming the funky hat, which does technically appear on the last floor, you can actually farm it in the ghost floor at a much lower rate. In fact, I believe the wiki has the information for this. So shout out to those of you who enjoy the wiki. Sneaking, if I type in sneaking, and Jesus, flashbang. If I press Control F and I type in, that's my history. Don't look at my history. But type in hat. All right. It's going to pull up everything that says HAT. So let me do a space before maybe. Okay. So helmets, sorry, not hats. I guess, I don't know, man. So there's straw hat. It's found in floor 1 and floor 2. And floor 1 is a 1 in 10 drop rate. And floor 2 is a 1 in 20 drop rate. Cool. Wig bandana, 1 in 20. Most importantly, the funky hat. Floor 1, which is the ghost floor, has a 1 in 1,000 drop rate. In floor 12, it's 10 times that, a 1 in 10,000 drop rate. So if you want to find this hat, do it in the ghost floor. Same with the straw hat, because it has a much higher drop rate. Also, if you're doing it, I would highly recommend trying to do it with meteorites to help increase your item find chance, especially if you're in the ghost floor. You're going to have 0% detection anyways. And it's going to make your job, make your life much, much easier in trying to find all of the stuff. So definitely do that. If that's the one you're stuck on, there you go. If it's not, I guess Godspeed in trying to find the other one. That's my account. I can close out of my account. Buildings. Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So don't neglect your building levels. Pulse Mage at level 31, level 30 Fire Lobber, level 32 Boulder Roller, level 70 Frozen Malone. I don't think I have seen levels this bad in a while. So definitely level up your Pulse Mage. Definitely level up your Fireball Lobber. Definitely level up your Boulder Roller. I suspect you're not much of a enjoyer of tower defense, and that's completely fine. That's not the sole reason you want to level up these buildings. Yes, you will get more wizard tower damage if you level these up past level 50. In fact, the atom collider, the nitrogen bubble, I believe it is, carbon, I got it off by 1. It specifically mentions you get this increase in damage for every wizard tower level above 50 in construction. So if you are aiming to do a tower defense rerun, if you're that insane, go for it. By the way, you can definitely level up your tower defense, because like 140 is like pretty low, 130 is pretty low as well, 140 is pretty low. But all that said, what was I looking at? Construction, that's right. No, buildings, that's right. Pushing it past 50 will help get you that base starting damage to help you out in progressing further waves in tower defense. But more importantly than that, leveling up your buildings multiplies your build speed rate. Let me repeat that. Leveling up your total levels of all buildings in construction will help increase your build speed rate, especially because I mentioned this particularly because you doubled carpenter. It's very clear to me you're trying to get build speed, and you went about it in a not a terrible way. It's definitely one of the later bubbles I would have considered doubling, but you can very easily scale your build rate by upgrading these buildings here. Now, how does this scale building speed rate? It's because of this upgrade in Rift. The construction mastery specifically says it'll give you more build rate per 10 levels of buildings over 1250. So right now you're at 1902. Every single level you get into the buildings will help increase your build speed rate. So by leveling up these buildings here, the Pulse Mage, Fire Lobber, Boulder Roller, this build speed here is going to ever increase. So just focus on the cheapest, easiest, fastest upgrade, and your build speed will really start skyrocketing. Your Voidinator 2 only takes 2 minutes and 31 seconds in a trim slot, 20 minutes in a non-trim slot. Your shrines here are only level 100. I suspect you recently got these upgraded. You got the construction mastery upgrade for this, so you can definitely start pushing shrine levels to really start amplifying your construction speed. And on top of that, since refinery is something I would absolutely recommend doing, especially because of the Emperor boss requiring a lot of damage, and you can do this on DK if you get higher refinery speed, more construction levels, the more building total levels you get will help increase your refinery speed. So by upgrading your buildings, you're not only increasing your build rate, but you're also increasing the refinery speed to help level up the salts faster. So all of that comes together to help you complete like 2-3 goals there. 100% focus on the cheapest, fastest upgradable buildings to help you increase that. And the other bonus I'm talking about here, of course, is this refinery speed per 10 total levels. This is like the first thing you unlock in construction mastery. This is why refinery is like even doable in the first place. This is a fantastic bonus here. So definitely get going on the building levels there. Sailing, all sovereign. I guess if you want to continue with sailing, and I think it's required that you continue with sailing. You want to get at least one boat to level 300. The reason that's important is because there is an achievement in World 5. This upgrade right here, wherever it is, I am blind. It is Maroon Worship. Upgrading a boat to level 300 rewards you with +1 talent levels to all talents. This is minimum talent levels. It's effectively the same as Symbols of Beyond, so it gets you an additional +1 talent. And going back to the top of the video, we were talking about how important that is, and this is like probably the easiest source for you right now to complete. Like all it takes is a bunch of gold bars or a bunch of resources. So taking your characters back to the first island and trying to get the resources for this boat speed to level up, or just by trading in your gold bars for this boat to level up to 300. This, I think, is probably a very easy, achievable achievement for you, especially since your gold food effect is probably stacked, and you have the beanstalk done, I hope. Okay, yeah, that's max. So, I mean, sailing should be relatively easy for you. I don't see why you can't get to 100% claim for your characters whenever you claim back. So every 2 hours, claim on your characters, progress your boats, try and get the sailing artifacts to upgrade your boats to get to 300 to get that achievement. Okay. Summoning, you're almost past the hurdle of 99, which is going to give you the +2 levels of Equinox max levels, so Equinox symbols levels. So definitely focus on damage, mana generation as you're doing here. I love to see the distribution you have. I don't disagree with anything, maybe except jeweled cards. I really hate this. I think there's one usage for jeweled cards, and that's kind of later in summoning when you like really hard wall yourself. I think with Glass Cannon, I think jeweled cards might actually be a detriment, but I don't know. It's kind of on the fence. I genuinely don't recommend it until you get to like 110, 120, to be honest with you. Yeah. If you're struggling and trying to push the Glass Cannon, what you could do instead is do a summoning double or reset and just focus on essence generation for like a few days, and then come back to reset again, put it back on your damage and stuff, and then come back and try to push 99. Okay, looking at the whole, your monument AFK gain is relatively low, so it tells me you haven't scaled like bravery, for example, or justice, or wisdom even. You have a few levels here and there. Justice is just painful. You don't have the 24,000 hours here. You have the 24,000 hours here for bravery, which is good, but I'd much rather see that on justice, for example. Do the 24,000 hours on justice to help you get more mental health and dismissal. This helps you push further waves in justice, and justice is the easiest monument to scale AFK gain and multi. It literally just requires reading comprehension, and even if you don't know how to do justice, there's many guide sheets that you can reference, for example. So there's like a guide sheet that we have in the main Discord, in my Discord at least. If you press Control F and you type justice, there's this one right here. And this is the updated spreadsheet with all the events recently. So it has recommendations whether you should accept, whether you should deny, what the consequences are. It gives you a rundown of them. So if you can either press Control F and type in Harbinger, or you can type in Grateful, or you type in Timmy, or you can type in Grumblo, or you can type in Reanimated Hand, and it'll tell you the encounters, like all the encounters that they have, whether you should do this, whether they're recommended. So I 100% recommend trying to do this, and looking at that spreadsheet. And again, it's in our Discord, it's in the tips and tricks section. If you don't know where it is, press Control F, type in justice, and there you go. It's this one right here, posted on May 8th, 8:48 a.m. A different justice sheet with the updated events, blah blah blah. Use that, help your justice, learn how to read, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. I think I have yapped enough. It's been 47 plus minutes. I think a lot of this hopefully is actionable for you. I hope you learn something, especially when it comes to your build speed. I think scaling the construction mastery from the Rift is going to be a great thing for you to do. And if you do get any more bubble doublers, I would definitely focus on probably Stardew EXP, Warrior's Rule, Molt Orange, Mage's Best, Severe Purple, Archer Bust, Prema Green, those ones in that order. It seems like you've already done Carpenter, so obviously not that one since you've already done it. Outside of that, I'm really not sure what else. Maybe Diamond Chef is also a really good one for you to consider. And I guess I'm looking at AFK EXP just because this will help you with Divinity as well. It'll double the amount of EXP you get from Divinity. So, back of your mind, this might actually be worth doubling. This kind of needs attention from me. I guess also, like, if I somehow manage to get my hands on more than all of those doubles, I'm probably looking at Hyper Swift as well for the basic attack speed. I don't know, man. I'm like out of my mind there. Anyways, I'll stop the review there. Karmatrip, thanks for the account. I hope you learned something. I hope you were able to take something from this and use it to help progress your account in the more endgame type way. So yeah, if you, I guess, have any questions, post in the YouTube comments. I'll see you around the Discord. And if you guys aren't already part of the Discord, remember to look at the description. There's a link to there as well. I would love to see more people jump in there. And as a way to get account reviews, I'm looking at trying to do giveaways in the Discord. So please join the Discord just as a way for you to be able to win an account review. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.